Good morning everyone, welcome back to my channel where we talk about MUN, and today we are going to talk about the most important things that are necessary to win in MUN. So starting today, let's begin. Now I know it can get a little confusing since there are so many things to focus like foreign policy, research paper, position paper, draft resolution, speeches, chit, etc, etc. There are so many things, but trust me, 80% of the marks you get depend upon 20% of the things, and today we are talking about those 20% of the things only. Talking about the first thing, that is speeches. In speeches, make sure you prepare your GSL in advance, and if you can figure out what the mod topics will be, then prepare the mods as well. And talking about the speeches, please maintain a good speed. Many people speak really slow in the GSLs and in the mods, and that is very bad because you have very limited time in the speeches, unlike the United Nations. In MUN you have to complete your speech by 60 or 90 seconds, and that is why I suggest to conclude as fast as possible and include only things which are absolutely necessary. And always try to leave about 5 to 10 seconds after every GSL, because there is something called yields which you can use in a GSL if you have some time left. Yields are basically time which you can utilize if you have left it during the GSL only. There are three types of yields. The first one being to the chair, which basically just dissolves the time, which is basically just a waste of time. The second thing is to another delegate, in which you transfer that particular amount of time to another delegate, and that delegate can speak for that duration on the spot. And remember, he has to speak on the spot, otherwise he cannot speak for that time. If you do this, then the delegate who is speaking will get extra marks for that, and you won't get any extra marks. So this is also a negative fact. The third thing is point of information, or POI, in which other delegates ask questions from you and you have to reply to them. And in this process, both the questioner and you get the marks. So make sure if anyone opts for a POI, then you should ask the POIs as well, and always leave about 5 to 10 seconds so that you can opt for POI and score extra marks. And in case you don't know the answer to a particular question, you can just say that you will answer the question via chat, which you don't necessarily have to answer. Which now brings us to our second point, which is chits. Now there are three types of chits, so let's get into each one of them. The first one being the POI/reply chits, which is the same as the POI in a GSL, but here you don't need to be in any GSL or speech. You can write a POI chit anytime. Just make sure to write the via EB term on top of the chit, to and from address, and that's it. Now you can ask any questions in the middle of a committee, and you don't need to be in a speech or that person needs to be in a speech. There is no such criteria. And if you receive any POI chit, then you can reply to it by writing reply chit on top and writing the to and from address respectively. The next one is the substantive chit, which is written to the EB. In this you can include all the stuff which you were not able to include in any of your speeches just because of the time limitations. This shows the EB that you have researched and well planned out your speeches before you even gave them. Moreover, keep in mind that both of these chits are marked upon, so make sure you write plenty amount of them. About 5 to 6 of your POI chits and about 2 to 3 of your substantive chit. Coming on to the last type of chit, that is the transcriptive chit. This chit is not marked upon, so you can use it as per your own. Now this chit is not marked by the EB because the EB doesn't even gets to see this. This is transcriptive chit, that means it goes directly from you to the other delegate. So it contains some informal talk or formal if you wish to. The format of this chit is pretty simple, just write down to and from address and that's it. And perhaps the most important thing in the entire committee would be the draft resolution. Try to be as involved as you can. If you are not even forming your own draft resolution, try to get as involved as you can. Try to be involved in the debate. Try to shape the draft resolution as per your country's foreign policy. Or if you can, then try to find a place among the sponsors, since they get really high marks both in the draft resolution documentations and in the lobby part as well. So make sure you try it, at least try to get the sponsor position in at least one of the DR. At least you can only get sponsor in one DR, so yeah, try to get it. And if you can, then try to form your own DR. Yes, that's it. These are the most important things that you need to keep in mind during an MUN. And let me tell you one thing, these are all technical stuff. There are many practical stuffs as well which need to be kept in mind, like adaptation, but we'll be making a video on that later in the series. See you in my next video. Be right there.